This is Helen Henry Scott. I am currently in Oakland, California. I am making this tape because we just elected a new president. I didn't vote for him, but a lot of people did, and I respect that. I also respect those protesters out there. I'm a professional protester myself. The difference between me and the ones that are out there walking is I prepare paperwork and take it to court, stand before the judge and try to get justice that way. My problem is with government. I have filed document after document looking for justice, which I have not received as of today. Also, we still have criminals free doing different things to people. President Obama started at 100% when he first started. Now he's on fumes. I mean, the thing is, nobody is doing anything about certain things, and we have to suffer for it because we are people. We're just out here going about our daily business, and we have to be bothered with certain things. For far too long, this has gone on for wow, I can't believe how long it's taken to get somewhere in court. First of all, I'd like to say that government is ran by the president. The president is the boss of everybody up there. He's over the United States Treasury. He's over the FBI. He's over the United States Department of Justice, and he's over the CIA. And even if you win a lawsuit in court under government rule, you won't get paid if the president says that you can't get paid right now because, well, they may want a part of the action or whatever the case may be. So it's an injustice. The other thing about government is, if the president is afraid to protect people, then we as citizens have to be bothered with that. I mean, it's pretty much nothing we can do about it. I mean, because we can't do it. This is why we rely on government officials to protect us, because we cannot do it alone. There's no sense in trying. I mean, it's just obvious we cannot do it. So with that, I'm saying that anything that comes from the FBI, the Department of Justice's office, is approved by the president. That goes for emails, that goes for litigated lawsuits, civil rights lawsuits. They will not file, the Department of Justice will not file anything unless they run it by the president. He has to approve it. Otherwise, it won't get filed. So people complaining about the FBI, about CIA, Department of Justice, and all these different things, the president is the boss. He tells them what to do, and they tell us, hey, we work at the president's pleasure. What does that mean? That means whatever he tells us to do, this is what we're going to do. Finish. Anyway, we have a lot of protests out there. A lot of people are mad and upset, and I totally understand the protests. We don't know what's going to happen. I know one thing, I'm going to be presenting 3 separate sections of paperwork when Mr. Trump is sworn into office. I really hope he understands this job. I mean, the thing is, we need somebody that's independent-minded, somebody that's going to think for themselves. The president's office has been ran by paranoid situations. I mean, people that are so paranoid and afraid to do their jobs. I mean, the president's office is in shambles right now, and we have to deal with it. Nobody knows this more than I do. I mean, I have dealt with these people for so long, you just wouldn't believe it. But we have to continue to fight and protest and file documents. One thing I am going to do is have a document on his desk. First thing, when he is sworn in, he will have a document from me on his desk. I will be sending it electronically through the FBI like I always do, and I'm asking the FBI director to make sure that my document is probably one of the top 5 documents that he's going to be looking at the day that he's sworn in. It's highly classified information. Along with that, I'm going to be resubmitting my mandamus brief to the United States Supreme Court for approval, and I'm going to be waiting to see what's going to happen with that. I'm going to attach an addendum and explain some things. It's going to be an attachment of some current issues that have come up since the last time I filed. That's another document. Another document I will be filing, it has to do with the President's office. I can't talk about that one, but I will be talking about that sometime next year. Discrimination and bias and hatred against people has to stop. I mean, I've heard some stories lately about a group that's spilling hatred among people. That has to stop. The President-elect has to let these people know that he does not condone this kind of behavior, and he wants them to stop doing it. He has to be a unifier. He has to be the kind of person that's independent-minded. If he gets caught up into that paranoid state of mind, then we're in a lot of trouble. Every inch of faith and strength that he has ever had, he needs it now for this job. The President's job is not for the squeamish. It is a very hard position. I wouldn't want it to save my life. And I told a lot of people up there already, you guys don't want that job. That job is so difficult. You have to like people to probably want it, but it is very difficult. You have to be independent-minded. You have to be steadfast in your decisions, and you can't be indecisive. You can't be the kind of person that can't make a decision. I mean, you have to make a decision. And when you make a decision, you're making a decision for a lot of people. You have to understand that your primary position is to protect people. That means that if you know a criminal in apartment A, a criminal in apartment B, you have to do something about that. Now, me, what I would do is go to the scene and check things out and have the people to go do what they need to do, come back and report to me, and then I'm ready to move on to the next layer of things. I don't know how this president is going to govern himself. I really hope that he does a good job. I know one thing. I'm going to be filing my paperwork. I'm going to be writing a lot. I'm going to be suggesting some things. I'm going to be requesting information. I'm going to be giving out suggestions about legislation. I'm going to be telling him different things about what I feel about certain things, and how this president's office needs to change. I mean, this is really something that needs to be looked after in a better way. Now, when we talk about biases again, there's a lot of bias out there, a lot of prejudices. I have been bothered with discriminatory practices when it comes to hiring. I have two companies, and they know who they are without me mentioning names, that have paid out behind discriminatory practices against people. I've seen some problems with how they treat women on some of these jobs, and it's not fair. For instance, there was a situation that happened a month or so ago where I ran an idea by this other company. I was talking to them about this idea on social media, and this other company, this cartoon company, got so upset, they depicted a picture about a woman being mistreated. And I just didn't say anything. I just kind of looked at it, and I thought, okay, you guys are horrible. This is absolutely why your company paid out all that money. This discriminatory practices against women. And one thing about them, they know me well enough to know that I'm not going for it. I mean, if anybody is going to kick some doors in Hollywood, it will be me. I will not give up against this sort of thing. I mean, I don't like women to be mistreated. So this is another thing that the president-elect is going to have to deal with. He's going to have to condone any type of mistreatment against women. He's going to have to condone any type of mistreatment against minorities. And he's going to have to be strong with it. He can't just sit back and casually say it. He has to mean it. He has to put it out there multiple times and let people know he's not going to accept it. And he does not approve it. All of that said, we're going to move on here. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes. Okay. When it comes to business development, I got it down pat. Like I say, it's two companies down there. It's another company I'm working with. They're excited about what we're trying to do. I mean, we got it going on when it comes to the newsroom, movies, TV, publications, you name it. We can write it, we can produce it. I'm fully confident in my abilities toward making it happen. So I'm just looking forward to working, and I don't want to be discriminated against. I mean, it's like I said before. In any situation, you start off at 100%. Period. You're at the top of your game. Pretty soon, things start happening. Things chip down to 75, 50%. Why does that happen? That happens because somewhere along the line, people start playing games and doing different things to bring things down to a lower level. That's bad. I plan to start out at 100%. And I'm going to try to keep it that way because I understand that whatever needs to be talked about, it should be explained. And the thing about it is people need to understand how to handle anger. They need to understand how to express anger. A lot of people don't know how to express anger. They get mad and the brains just turn to mush. They just reach for the lowest thing that they can reach for to hurt somebody with. And then later they're apologizing. Oh, I didn't mean it. Oh, I'm sorry, and this and that. Sorry is okay. And I can forgive a person sometimes. It just depends. The thing is, if you didn't mean it, you wouldn't have said it. You meant it when you said it. Whether you said it out of madness or whatever way you said it, you meant it when you said it. Later on, you're sorry for it, but sometimes sorry is not enough. The damage is done. And I really get tired of people like that. I mean, because when I get mad at somebody, I'm going to tell them, look, I don't like what you did, and this and that and the other, and explain it that way. But to get mad and just start taking pictures with the enemy and start digging down deep to the lowest form of whatever you can do to overexpress yourself, that's just, I get tired of that. I really get tired of people like that. And a lot of reasons why I back away from situations is because of people like that. I mean, I'm the type of person that I can pick up the phone and call anybody. I can walk up to anybody, say hi to them, and I can text anybody. It's all good. I don't have a problem with that. We do have people, and I have connected with 4 or 5 different people that are like that. They're afraid. They can't talk to people. They can't text people. They can't call nobody. I mean, it's like, wow, why? So the thing about that is, you have to talk to people. You can't be afraid. If you have a job, you can't be afraid to do your job. You have to do your job or let someone else do your job. Because if you're just there just for the show and the entertainment side of it, then you're not really doing your job well. You're going to leave in fumes because your job has not really been done very good. And, with that, a lot of people will suffer in the end. And that's what's been happening in government. Now we have, the Republicans is going to dominate the Senate and the House. Well, to me, it doesn't matter because I'm looking more toward the president's job. Everything that I do is geared toward the president's job. It is not to say that I want it because I don't. Everything that I do is geared toward his decisions. I mean, President Obama had this situation about censorship in the FCC, which he's over the FCC. And the point is, you can't say this, you can't say that. Censorship. I respect censorship. But at the same time, people need justice. People need to feel safe. They need safety, and they need justice in court. So with censorship, it's a problem. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that I'm going to be sending my paperwork up there, and I'm just going to hope for the best. But I know that in my case, everything is based upon the president's office and the kind of person that the president is, and whether or not he is going to allow me to talk about my cases. That is the main situation for me. Okay, when it comes to social media, I am so bored with social media. I mean, these people that's taking pictures of their genitals, sending pictures around. I mean, I can't believe it. It's like, do you know who you're sending this picture to? It could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be government, it could be your mother. I mean, you don't know who you're sending this picture to. But you should know one thing, that once you send that picture out there, it's going to be all over the internet. And God forbid if you send your picture of your face or your body, whatever. But social media can be quite a boring situation. And a lot of times I don't want to be bothered with it. Sometimes I cut the computer on, and my mind tells me, hey, let's go outside. And that's what I do. I cut it off because it's such a bore to me. I think I have this big life. I don't need social media that much. Some people, they're on social media all day. I'm in Twitter and Facebook, Snapchat and all this sort of stuff. So Instagram and all that. And that's okay. I mean, I'm getting ready for my seasonal photography, of course. Christmas is coming up. I do my thing. I get ready for my Christmas photos and my New Year's photos, which is my favorite time of year because of the Christmas and the New Year's setup. And now I got Instagram, so it's all good. Snapchat, I don't know. I might get that later, but I got enough to deal with these 3 or 4 Google Pluses and all the four sites. Anyway, let's see what else do I have to say. Pretty much, I guess that's about it. Like I said before, I will be requesting my mandamus brief. I will be sending that to the United States Supreme Court once again, and I'm looking for positivity. I am exercising a lot, trying to get my rest. Some days I don't get proper sleep. I am rested now, so I'll be up for a while. Some days I don't get proper sleep, but most days I try to get good sleep. And I have peak energy. Last week I had peak energy every day, and I'm good. It's all good. I mean, I'm thinking positively, and I'm going to be posting some things, and it's going to be days when I don't post, so don't be alarmed. It's just me being busy with other stuff and don't want to be bothered with it. So that's the whole thing. Let me see if there's anything else I need to say. That's probably it. If I do come up with something else, I will post it, and I'll let you know. In the meantime, I'm really hoping that this President-elect Donald Trump is different in terms of allowing justice to be heard, in terms of ways to express himself to the public, that he's going to condone any type of discrimination on the job, in person, wherever. And he's definitely not going to tolerate any kind of violence against women. He's not going to let it happen. He will not approve it. And this is what we need. We need a strong voice in Washington. We need a voice that's not paranoid. We need a voice that is strong-willed, because it's easy to listen to a paranoid mind. And, that stuff can brush off on you, make you paranoid. You don't need to be paranoid if you're president. Even if you hear a lot of paranoid from the previous president, you hear a lot of paranoia. You have to be strong-minded. That's the main thing that we need in government, is a strong-minded president. So let's wait and see what happens. I don't know. I really understand my protesters out there. I'm a professional protester. I'll put my stuff in court. I'll stand up there and look at the judge, and you honor this and you honor that. One thing I do want to mention is how much I appreciate some of those people out there that have stood by me for the longest. When I went to court, I was crying in Los Angeles County and that whole thing, and they have stood by me, cried with me, and been concerned about me, and I really appreciate them. They know who they are. Otherwise, happy holidays, and let's see what's going to happen. I did watch the game earlier. The Golden State Warriors had a record-breaking win tonight. I'm so proud. And let's see, I spoke to my sister, and we were trying to debate whether we're going to go to this place or go have Thanksgiving dinner at that place. I'm not really sure about that yet, but we'll be doing something. I'll probably be having some pictures to boot. So let's see, I think that's probably it. Like I said before, if something comes up and I need to talk about it, I will post it. Otherwise, happy holidays once again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.